Hello. So I've been trying to share some dreams, but it's just I can't upload it or things go wrong, so I'll try one more time. Okay, so the first dream I had about a few weeks ago, I was in a house, and the house was on a hill, and there were like other houses on this hill, and I went outside, and I saw a big tsunami coming up over from the top of the hill and starting to flow down the hill, and I told all my family and stuff, get inside, shut all the windows, lock all the doors. There's a big tsunami coming. And so we did that, and then the water flowed around our house, and there was just like a little flood, and then it just disappeared. And so I went back outside, and then I saw another wave coming, another tsunami, and I said, this one's even bigger than the first one. Quickly, get inside, lock all the windows again, shut all the doors. And then as I was doing that, I heard God in the dream say to me, pack all your stuff up, we're going, we're getting out of here, we're leaving. And then the flood came down the hill, and it went around our house, and the flood was bigger than the first one. But it disappeared. So when I woke up, I knew that the tsunamis or the waves were representing the coronavirus waves. And the Lord was saying that the second wave will be worse than the first wave. But because I had listened to what God had told me to do in the dream, I was protected and safe. And I do believe that saying, pack all your stuff up, let's go, let's get out of here, is a reference to the rapture. So the Lord might be saying that He is coming for His bride during this second wave. So that's the first one. Just got a drink. Oh. Sorry. So before I get into the second one, I'll say that last. So the second dream is disturbing. My brother had come home, and he had brought a new board game, and the board game was of the Antichrist plan. And on this game, on this board game, it was like black, and there was like an eye in the middle of it, like the shape of an eye that was like kind of a dim blue. And and there was lots of little black figurines on the character, and in the middle of the eye and in the middle of the board was the Antichrist character, the Antichrist figure. And he was wearing a black suit, and his head was invisible, but I saw I could see this outline of his face and his hair, and it looked like the face of Donald Trump and his hair. So I picked up a little figurine. I go, look, it's Donald Trump. And then I was looking through the booklets that came with the board game, and it was like showing Donald Trump's face everywhere. And I was saying in the dream, I was like shocked. I was like, this board game is blatantly saying that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. And so that's what I saw in the dream. And when I woke up, I was wondering if the invisible head had obviously something to do with like the wound to the head, but also I did get the impression that even though the game was blatantly showing me that Donald Trump was the Antichrist, it was still, the invisible head was still trying to conceal that at the same time. So with this game, there was a video that came with it, like a story of the game, and it was a story of the Antichrist plan. And I watched this video twice in the dream, and as I was waking up, I forgot to try and start remembering it, so I couldn't remember everything. But what I do remember is, well, obviously Donald Trump in the dream was the Antichrist. The vaccination for the coronavirus is the mark of the beast. And there was one scene in the video where I saw they were in like a lab, a science lab, and there was a bunch of scientists doing a bunch of things, and one scientist injected a bit of food with something, and then in the next scene I saw someone in a restaurant pick up that same bit of food and start eating it. And then there was one part in the dream where I saw 6 people on a stage, and these people were the ones that were refusing the vaccination, and these people were tied up on the stage sitting on chairs. And I looked out to the audience, and there was like hundreds of people in the audience, and I knew the people in the audience were the ones that were going to receive the vaccination, because they were so terrified of what was happening on the stage and they couldn't see past what was happening here. And on the stage, I saw one person who was tied up. The bad guys started to like beat them like to death, or so they were unconscious. And when I saw this, obviously like it's disturbing, but when I looked out to the audience, the people watching, I was more torn about them, because God gave me a flash vision of what these people would be involved with and what they would do, and they were lost in like darkness and all different types of sin. And because they loved their wickedness and they loved the evil in this world, like they were blinded, and God gave them over to their illusion, and they couldn't see past what was happening on the stage. They were only concerned about their life here, and they didn't have a promise in their heart. They couldn't see. And the people on the stage, even though they had to like go through like suffering and things, their sacrifice and their death was like not in vain, and they were like glorifying God, and God was with them, and they would, because they lost their life for His sake and for the truth, they would gain life and blessings and, hope, and live in His kingdom forever. But I saw the last scene in the dream, I was on a beach, and the people who received the mark were like walking around on the beach, and they had cords coming out of their heads that were attached to their arms and their legs. And they were walking around, but they looked like puppets, but they were like dead puppets. And the Lord was just showing me that it's eternal death for those who take this mark. So it's clear that what they are doing with this like coronavirus thing, that it's going to affect the whole world. The whole world will be required to take this vaccination. And it says in the Bible that the Antichrist will require, all nations in the whole world to receive a mark. Without this mark, you will not be able to buy and sell. Now, it's so clear that this is the truth, and the Lord wants people to start to understand that this is the truth, and it's not a conspiracy theory. They're trying to track every people's move, and now I saw in like New Zealand now, when you go into a store or whatever, you have to sign yourself in with the tracker or whatever they're doing, I don't know. And it's just like People, they're trying to say they're trying to catch the virus, but seriously, it's getting more and more obvious. And, there's obviously an agenda behind all of this. And it'll eventually lead to, they're even saying I saw in the news that they were saying, like, cash spreads the virus. So it's all propaganda, it's all brainwashed. They're trying to make it so that people will be stuck in the system and they will not be able to buy and sell, and they, unless they are in the system, and they're trying to make it so it's like a cashless society, so you'll have to rely on all of this system. And every time I try and talk about it, I can't say what I want to say. I don't know what's like in the vaccination. I don't know if it's a microchip or, whatever it is, or if it's something that coincides with the vaccination, that helps you buy and sell within the system. But the Lord told me to tell people that the vaccination for the coronavirus is the mark of the beast. So if you have ears to hear, please hear. It's becoming more and more clear that, Jesus is the truth, and if only you just give him a chance and even question him, and when you believe in him and he comes into your heart, there's no more doubt. It's a positive time for his bride, because he is about to come for those who are ready, and he is about to protect them from the hour of temptation that will come upon this whole world. But it's a sad time for the world. But those who go through this great trouble that's about to come upon this world, he's saying to you, the angels are saying, refuse this mark, and I will protect you. I will be there with you. I will guide you. His protection doesn't always mean that he's going to protect our body, but he will protect our soul. And if it does get to the point where you have to die for this truth, let's glorify God with our life. Let's glorify the truth. Our sacrifices will not be in vain. Your good deeds will follow you. So, yeah. Okay. See ya.